with DePIN. Let's step
Hello everyone. So today we're just starting for like the side event, starting for like the GMs going forward from tomorrow. So the PIN and the AI is everything is very important. So we know all that the PIN is going to be the backbone of the Web3, right? So that's why we have a panel discussion right now. So we can discuss about the PIN and the AI. Because that is the two things that I think is right now very close to the traditional like business and all stuff, right? So we already know that for several years. We pass by many kind of trend, and then we understand that we have no longer to just giving our idea and no practical use. So what we need today is to need to understand how the DePIN and the AI in the near futures will shape the new futures for the Web3. Okay, so here we have Mr. Alan Charles from the Zetacube, right? And Mr. Brink from Datagram, and Ms. Amber from U2DPN. So please welcome. Please welcome. Thank you very much. So first of all, I want a very quick introduction from each of you guys. So Mr. Alan Charles, can you just give a brief introduction about you and
Okay, we are a Korean company, and we are manufacturer of the DePIN-oriented data centers. We announced a very new idea about the nano DePIN centers and the installation of the DePIN focused data center here and there in Korea.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jason Brink.
Okay. Okay, whoa, there we go, it's working. Hi guys, my name is Jason Brink. I'm the CEO of a company called Datagram. We are essentially a DePIN for DePINs, and we help make the rest of the DePINs of the world go. DePIN is a very, very complex topic, and it's very difficult to execute correctly, and so we essentially stand ready to help the rest of the world's DePINs become more robust and scalable and build better stuff.
Thank you, thank you. So Amber, how do you think?
Yeah, hi guys. Maybe make a quick introduction first. I'm Amber, and I represent the team called U2DPN. Basically, we are building a DePIN project focused on the decentralized DePIN model. So in a simple word, we make internet infrastructure not relies on any kind of centralized system anymore, but we allow every individual user who have 4G, 5G internet can become the contributor of unused internet resource that they have. Then we can utilize all that unused resource for the consumer who need it in more effective and cost-effective way. So that is something we are building, and happy to be here at this session and also out there.
So I hope that all the project engineers, so we can join hand, right? Shaping like the future. Just give a contribution so we can make the world move. Okay, so I think the panel discussion today is going to be understand about the practical things in how the DePIN and the AI will make it happen from Web3. So the first question is we know the DePIN has its own strategy, right? And AI has its own strategy and everything also. But when we talk in the mixture between the DePIN and AI, so what do you think is the intersection between the DePIN and AI? That cannot they cannot go alone. It's been the things that the DePIN and the AI go together, and it can make the new thing for the Web3. So how do you think?
Okay, when I think about the DePIN and AI communicate and collaborate, it's absolutely more and more AI has become an edgy AI. Just to OpenAI ChatGPT is the starting point pilot system, I think. So now in this time, it's open source LLM is become a booming, and there's so many kind of style of LLM is occurred. So every LLM is a need the storage and the GPU powers, but more and more their style is become a shrink, and they share their data at the edge side. So automotive and every humanoid, many things, edge AI is control them. Edge meaning the decentralized. Decentralized blockchain and the AI and the DePIN is must combine with each other. But the problem is, so decentralized need so many staff So need the installation. So at the same time, we provide very good tokenomics and the ecosystem and the neural system and benefits. So I really understand about agree about the very complicated process.
So because like the AIs right now, the application for the AIs, the whole world is like happening every single day, right? But the thing is like we know exactly what is the troubleshooting for the DePIN, because like if we don't have like a stable providers from the DePIN, so we still need to use the data center, right? So with Jason, how do you think we can solve with the DePIN solution?
I think that there's multiple angles to this. The first is that, and if I want to just throw a tiny bit on that last question, the decentralization of AI is absolutely critical because you don't want to throw your data to a centralized service every time you have something inferred via AI. It's terrible, right? Like you don't want ChatGPT in your life looking at your medical records, looking at your deepest thoughts. So decentralized AI, absolutely critical. In terms of building out networks for DePIN and AI, I love the nano data center model because one of the challenges that you run into is latency. Latency is terrible, right? And if you have an AI cluster, okay, spread across half the planet, it's going to take it so long for it to do anything, especially when it comes to training, that it becomes, functionally impossible. This is where you need to compute at the edge, but compute at the edge in these sort of micro centers in order to achieve sort of the efficiencies and scales necessary to make this really work. So at Datagram, we are working on this along with some of our partners and things like that for AI training and inference and things like that in a decentralized fashion. It's one of the big solves that we need to push this forward. DePIN and AI working together are super critical to the future of both.
That's great, great. But I know that the U2DPN, you guys already have some customer, right? So do you have any kind of strategy that you can make it stable for the provider? Because like if we have customers, so they need more and more resources. So how you can make a stable provider?
So basically, as shared with the model of U2DPN, the provider side we mostly focus on their individual contributor, right? So they can come from any country, any region, as long as they get their internet there. And for sure, because we know that we are building DePIN, but we are in quite a new adoption state, let's say. So we always need to have the backup. So basically, we still in connection with some partner who can, produce the bandwidth, IP, VPN, stuff like that. So we can pick up for all the requests from the partner. But to be honest, our aim for long term is how we can make all the provider resource it become fully from the community. So that is our ultimate goal. And that is for a specific question for U2DPN, right?
Yeah. So I think like for three of you here, we have different projects, right? But I mean, if we look into the one vision and one road, that we have like the same vision right now. So even like for VPN, for proxy, for Zetacube, and then for Datagram. So I think we have like the same sectors in this industry. So maybe like after this event, everyone can shake a hand and do something big like that.
Well, just a quick note on that. I think that this is a really cool thing to point out. One of the questions that I'm asked very, very frequently when I do community AMAs and things like that, which I do a lot of these days, it's we have a node sale coming up here shortly, but the number one question that I get is probably, who's your competitor? And the answer that I always give is we don't really have competitors, we have potential partners. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, for all of our networks, okay, we're all doing decentralized compute, we're all doing decentralized inference, we're all sharing resources across the entire network. There's absolutely nothing that stops our networks from connecting together to share overflow in with one another, to make it more efficient, make everything stronger and more stable. We're not competing. We'll never compete. What we are is we are all united together against the centralized AWSs of the world, against the the major forces that seek to keep everyone in a little tiny box. We're working together to combat that. I think it's a beautiful thing.
So that is the message from the decentralized world, right? That's what we're trying to do.
Actually, I do want to add on something here because I was also DePIN personally. So when I came to a lot of conferences, especially I also explored the DePIN market in the US because they have a lot of mutual product. I can see that, for example, if in Asia I can see a lot of DePIN project in early stage, but in US market they already got quite stable provider results and they can sell the data for consumer. And I talked to a lot of builders building DePIN in the state, and what is the most problem here? I mean, the most challenging thing here for them when they're building, they say, oh, we don't have too much problem with the provider side. The thing we had problem with is how we can have the consumer to actually using our decentralized resource. So I agree with Jason with that point. We don't compete each other in the DePIN state. We compete to,
Centralize.
that's right, conveys all the consumer, even in Web3, even in Web2, to using the DePIN resource.
Okay, thank you. So I think that is like a question that I want about asking about the vision and how we doing the DePIN with the AIs. But we want to go more deeper inside the DePIN infrastructures because the AIs that we require a lot of like resources, right? So in compare to the centralized like AWS stuff, how DePIN is like make it more competitive in compared to the centralized data center stuff. So I think this conversation can.
Well, it's kind of interesting when you have a data center, right? If you look at AWS, what is AWS? In order to provide a service for you, what do they have to do? AWS has to buy land. They have to get permitting on that land. They have to build a shell of a building. They have to get power connected to that shell of the building. They have to put servers in the building. They have to hire security. They have to hire maintenance. They have to hire everyone who makes that data center run. They have to hire sales that then goes out to your companies and says, hey, you guys should use AWS. They have to build an entire pipeline to make all of that happen. This is a massive vertically integrated pipeline that goes from the actual dirt on the ground to the cloud, okay? And every step of the way, AWS has to pay for that. And then at the end of the day, when you come on as a customer, you pay them for that vertically integrated stack. With DePIN, you, in most cases, in the best case, the most ideal case, your DePIN product is running on a machine that 5% of the time does something else. And the other 95% of the time, it's just running your DePIN, because honestly, what else is it gonna do? It's there, it's powered on, it's already connected to internet, it's in your house. You don't have to pay for the land specifically for your customer, and it becomes a passive thing that you're able to then contribute. You maintain it, yes, you keep it up, you make sure things work, okay? But that's far, far, far less intimidating than this massive vertically integrated stack of stuff that AWS has to do. And so what this enables is, if you get enough people, this enables really great economies of scale, okay, at great economies of just general cost for what is being put out there. And DePINs today, we couldn't do this stuff 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, there wasn't enough compute at the edge. There wasn't, like now every gaming computer has a GPU that has, thousands of times the computational power of a GPU of just, a decade or two ago. And so now there's enough compute, GPU, CPU, bandwidth, storage at the edge to now make all of this possible. And so now this is what makes it cheaper. And so we can do this in ways that centralized providers can't.
Yeah, it's possible. I have like a quite interesting like ideas and talk with the guys around Vietnam. I go to like a cyber game, cybernet. They have like 30,000 of the computers, and then they cannot run for the whole day because it's need to have customer, right? So how about like a midnight time? They're just doing that for the day payments. So I think like the resources out there, redundant, a lot of things. So if we can try to prove the world that we can use and make it more efficient. So that should be the best way. So for the case of the Zetacube,
Yes,
So,
so-
how everything.
We have a lot of experience about this case, and we consider that this kind of some risky issues from the DePIN is coming from the management. So I have some experience about the Open Source Association chairman in the Korea 3 years ago. At that time, open source characteristic is just nobody happens, just touch and update, touch and update. So some part of DePIN is a little bit similar. So people just trying to earn the money by the DePIN. So they just send the renting the shared resource to somebody. It's just freely. But then it cannot guarantee that the management. So DePIN have some mechanism for the penalty system for the burning the stakings. But that is not so enough. So controlling the management is very complicated. Some IP conflict is occur, then stop. Some very small, some background process is make crazy system stop. So I already explained about the current situation. Is real situation is 30% over is just ongoing the provided. It is for example, BitTorrent is saying so many BitTorrent P2P some contributors just using that free of charge and just using shared some contents and some very illegal videos and like that and the turn off suddenly. So our target is just the middle side. So it is similar with the Red Hat strategies. So Red Hat or some Ubuntu is they have supporters. So open source but they need a supporter. Even Android is the same. Google is a supporter. Open source is supporter. We Zetacube is a similar job doing in the Korea, but we wish to expand it all over the world. So we have become a little bit similar with the VMPT and KT. It means we are just guarantee management system provided by the networks and the monitoring and the checking and the human resource together and to share some benefit from the daily work. So I think every open source project must support engage and maybe it is to become a booming. I really wish to one of that kind of case make happen.
So it's just back to the things that we already discussed, right? So we have no enemy in the decentralized world. We just need to check hand and make it happen.
Yes.
So Amber, do you want to add on any ideas about the things related to comparative that the DePIN can be over the AWS?
Yeah, so I think Jason and Alan already covered, but I would add on something here because I don't know, I'm not actually not the tech expert, but from my understanding, as there are people who knows about AI stuff like that, there some two core element in AI is first one is model and the second one is data, right? So I will talk more about how DePIN can make their data layer in AI more effective and cheaper. So everyone talks about computer, computer power, everyone talks about AWS stuff like that. But I would also want to add on the point of internet infrastructure here, because to be honest, DePIN also transform how we collect the data and train the AI. That is for sure. For example, there's a lot of DePIN projects in their data layer. For example, like Geo.net, right? Or Nubila, like some project they got the hardware at home of their user. They collect all the weather data, all the location data, and they send back to some maybe AI company who need that kind of data to train for the AI. So that is also one element we can add on here. It's not just about GPU, CPU storage, cheaper or something. It's also about transform the way we collect data from user. That's the first thing. And the second thing, I also want to talk about internet infrastructure, because in the process of scoring AI, host the model and extract data, it's required a lot of bandwidth capacity too, right? To be honest, I know many DePIN projects work in their compute power and AI sector, and I talked to them. And most of them been using the provider, Alan said, right, need to use some kind of data center. And but one interesting point here is when I think about the mainstream adoption of AI and DePIN, I will think about the internet infrastructure. Because for example, when we build U2DPN personally, when we work with some AI company who maybe need the bandwidth capacity, so they can scroll data and extract data, stuff like that, they actually can buy from the community. Right? Because sometimes GPU, CPU, they got quite a specific requirement that cannot host from your computer, your phone. It must be some kind of server with enough capacity. So that's something I want to add on here. It's not just about AWS server or something like that. It also is about transform the way data is being collected and make it more effective, cheap, and achievable, and bring the mainstream adoption too.
I got your point. But from that point, so I think we have another question about token incentive. Because like we all talk about the Web3, right? So the token cannot be set aside. So how you guys think about the token incentive in related to the AI data that coming from the participant? Yeah. So Alan, do you have any like idea about that?
So today I just a presentation about another protocol issue, which why is that point. So normally DePIN is just a very simple scheme we have. So just our resource renting to some customers and the payback from them. But they are overseas people and outside of some country, and we cannot receive some US dollars or something like that. And then we just receive the token. That's okay. But the problem is normally tokenistic tokens price is up and down. It's very dangerous. So every big DePIN project is a very big influence from the token price. So they just operate very well, renting so many people on the money. But just only one issue, token price issue, make trouble. So in my opinion is we must linking with the stable coins like that. So stable coin and for example USDT is it can make stable for the payment same as the fiat side. So we are thinking about we can make some bridge about the DePIN token and the stable coin side. That's our one of the solutions.
So Jason, how do you think about the idea from Aiden?
Well, I mean, for me, when I look at some of the concerns that people have surrounding this particular issue, I look at it from this perspective of obviously the mini centers that you're talking about is one critical component here, but the incentivization structures that have to be built. The problem that has happened in crypto in the past is that incentivization models have not been adequate to make sure that people keep everything online. Okay, and a big part of that is because we've often started from sort of extremely simplistic models of, God, some of the early DePINs were a disaster where people would, have a massive pre-mine and then they just have a wallet and then it's just a mess, right? And so when we talk about stable structures and things like that and, stable coins, what we have in Datagram is we have we call it a 3-token economy, but it really isn't. There's a single token, there's an exchange traded token that trades up and down, does whatever the token does. We have no control over that, obviously, right? But because the majority of our users are Web2 users, there's situations where obviously you can't have a situation where someone comes and buys $50 worth of your token, right, for usage. A Web2 user, okay? They come and they put in $50 and they're like, this is going to be great, I'm going to use this service, it's wonderful. And then, the president makes a tweet or something like that and the price of the token goes down, or he launches a meme coin, and, there's too many variables that impact these things, right? So what we have is we have a system where if people come into the market with fiat, okay, they purchase in fiat, tokens are bought off the market and then immediately burned and turned into a non-transferable data credit, Okay, this is similar to the way that helium handles their own. That $50 worth of data credits will always be $50 worth of data credits. It will not go up or down. It's not a coin, it's not exchangeable or anything like that, it just sits there. Then when they actually use those data credits, those credits are then burned and turned into whatever the reward currency is on the other side, which auto settles every day back to the DePIN token. And so by setting up economies like this and then having the node operators always have an incentive to continue operation, because obviously without a DePIN network you don't have a DePIN network, and it depends on the community to continue operating and things like that. So building out those tokenomics and those token incentives in a way where everybody's aligned in the same direction is absolutely critical. And that's the way that we've solved the problem in Datagram.
I think it's like the way you instructor is from a lot of experience from before, right? Because a lot of like the DePIN project from 2 years ago, they're doing like a couple of like different two token structures. Like one is the points and one is the real token. But the thing is like we all do by the auction structure. So it means if you cannot control the price that we can give, the money we can give to the private providers will go very low. So by that time, the provider will no longer want to contribute to the network. So that's been caused a problem for us.
One of the ways that we've addressed that is within our own tokenomics, the exchange token converting back into DGram, and the DGram token converting, when it's burned, converting into the data credit is based on a moving average. Okay, so instead of having it based on spot, you're based on like a, 3-day, I think it's 3-day moving average. And what that means is that anytime there's a token dip, there's an incentive now for people to say like, okay, the token has dipped now. It's only been down for 2 hours. Okay, but my price that I'm going to get in terms of conversion value is based on 72 hours. Okay, so now I'm incentivized to go burn my tokens to convert it to the data credit, because then I'll get the most data credits for my tokens, essentially, right? Which has an inverse impact on the fluctuation. So it always works to kind of compress that and make it so things stay as stable as possible. Kind of algorithmically, it's not a stable coin by any stretch of the imagination, but essentially you're incentivized to do the actions that help the ecosystem rather than hurt it.
That's good. So Amber, for the U2DPN, so how do you think it's going to be to make the system stable for the provider?
So basically, right now our model is quite more, I think, simple. Basically, like when we can connect the bandwidth that provides supply to the network to the consumer who need it, we can give the consumer some option to do the payment. For sure, they can top up and do payment by our native token. But for now, because we haven't made that yet and not listed it yet, so we don't use it, the U2DPN token. The second option, they can also using, beside the U2DPN token, because we haven't listed yet, they can use the native token of the chain that we are now building on. So that's the first option, right? And the second option, actually, we're also thinking about open like a stable coin payment option. I talked to, yesterday I had the time to talk with the Republic Venture team, and they said that they do have connection with a lot of DePIN projects. And to be honest, that kind of DePIN project, they don't pay attention much into the token thing, to be honest, because right now there's a model, I don't know if they should be heard about it or other people heard about it, like hybrid business model. Are they trying to build for the DePIN project? So basically, they want to build some kind of model that are not only from token side, but also from the stable coin side. The reason why, because the crypto market is not like 5 years ago where everyone go fundraising, do six rounds, series, stuff like that. It always starts at the maybe TG or something, and it's just about the stories of the circle token. But now for DePIN, it's more than that. We are building some real use case for the real business, even from Web2 business, right? So we need to make some dual revenue model. How we can, after the TG, for example, we can do the Series A, B, C, D. We can do this good exit and even have the backup from traditional and VC firm or institutional, something like that. So I will not go deep dive into the system of payment something because I think Jason already shared quite a good use case from Datagram. But right now, what we're trying to solve here is we receive if either the token or stablecoin from the consumer. We share the revenue for provider. For now is in the point and the native token first because we haven't listed it yet. But we are now trying to, if the consumer pay by the stablecoin, we are also trying to use that stablecoin to maybe do some buyback, something like that, to maintain the value of the token. But I think because we are a startup, so we are learning every day. We still talking with every builder, already built the DePIN project, on the venture side, about their insight on how they looked at a sustainable model for a project. And we will try to deliver some, sustainable kind of revenue to share with our provider. So I think this plan will give you really good insight on that part.
Yeah.
And thank you, Alan and Jason.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, today we just have to talk about the DePIN and AI, the practical things, how we need to consider about some models, something about payment incentive for the token and how the infrastructure needs to be. And we know that the DePIN will have a bright futures in this kind of industry, right? So I think the panels today is very helpful for people to understand about some kind of topic. But I really want that we can go deeper on the DePIN, the backbone of the Web3 futures. So I hope that we can have more AMAs or online discussion on that. So maybe in the futures, I will try to invite you guys into some session. Okay. So the panel discussion today for DePIN and AI is going to be completed today. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, everyone.